This polity lecture, and it is PT 365. We were doing our current topic, that is interstate relations, and in this topic it is about the sixth schedule. Basically, why the sixth schedule is in the news, that Arunachal Pradesh, that is a northeastern state assembly, unanimously passed a resolution for the entire state to be included in the sixth schedule of the constitution. Who has passed this? Basically unanimously in Arunachal Pradesh Assembly. So what is the background of this sixth schedule? So earlier what has happened, that state government has also demanded to amend the constitution and waive article 371H and put Arunachal Pradesh under the provision of article 371A and 371G, which is related to Nagaland and Mizoram respectively. Now article 371A and 371G provides basically a special protection with respect to religious and social practices. Now customary laws and rights to ownership and transfer of the land to the tribal people of the state of Nagaland and Mizoram respectively. Now article 371H basically for this movement has been initiated. This article, that is 371H, that the state government has a special responsibility. State governor has special responsibility with respect to law and order in the state in discharge of his functions in relation thereto. Means here state government has special responsibility in respect of his duty, in respect of his function. So at the present, Arunachal Pradesh has Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act of 1873, which basically prohibits all the citizens of India from entering Arunachal Pradesh without valid inner line permit. So basically that inner line permit has to obtained by any person whoever is coming from any other state, and even it prohibits all citizens of India, not even the outsiders, also the Indian citizens also, from entering to the Arunachal Pradesh. We could say that like in the same country only, we were having a visa kind of permit they are talking about. So let's talk about what is inner line permit. Inner line permit is basically a document that allows an Indian citizen to visit or stay in a state that is protected under ILP system. Now in the British area, regulation under Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation 1873 for Crown's own commercial interest, the Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram are protected by inner line, and lately Manipur was added. Permit of foreigners. Every foreigner except a citizen of Bhutan, means Bhutan who doesn't need to take any kind of a special permit to go into the Arunachal Pradesh area. So Bhutan has special privilege in this case. So we also have like areas in northeast that is registered as an autonomous district. So what all are the northeastern state that has been registered as an autonomous district? That is Assam, that is Bodoland Territorial Councils, Karbi Anglo Autonomous Council, Bodo Territorial Council, Karbi and Autonomous Council, and Tema Hasao Autonomous District Council. Meghalaya also have some autonomous districts, that is Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, Jaintia, Garo Khasi Jaintia. We know that the Garo and Jaintia and Khasi also that has a different autonomous district council. Now Tripura has a tribal area, that is Autonomous District Council. Now Mizoram, that is Chakma Autonomous District Council, Lai Autonomous District Council, Mera Autonomous District Council. Now we have to learn that what is that article 371 that is being in news in this thing. Like article 371 to 371J of the constitution basically contains special provisions for 11 states. Who are that 11 states? We'll come into that. To meet the aspirations to protect the culture and economic interest of the tribal and local people of the state, or to deal with the disturbed law and order condition in some part of the state. Basically, Article 371 comes into the picture to save the special culture and economic interest of the tribal and local communities of a particular states. So let's talk about this sixth schedule. The sixth schedule basically provides that constitution to the tribal community to administer the tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram under the provision of Article 244 sub Article 2 and 275 sub Article 1 of the Constitution. Now, areas in northeast that are registered as autonomous district, we have already know that what are the registered, that is autonomous district registered Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura. So ATMM, we could remember this like this. Now Article 244 of Special System of Administration of certain areas designated as schedule areas and tribal areas. Now Article 275 also makes some special provisions for statutory grants to be charged on the consolidated funds of India. Means grants can be received from the consolidated funds of India, and that grant also include specific grants for promoting the welfare of the scheduled tribes, for raising the level of administration of scheduled areas in the state. Now we have to get to the detail that to include Arunachal Pradesh in the schedule requires constitutional amendment because it is outside the Article 368. So we need to have a constitutional amendment. Now the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, Article 338A, has recommended Union Territory of Ladakh to be declared as a tribal area under the 6th schedule of the Constitution. Now Citizenship Amendment Act exempt the 6th schedule areas and inner line permit areas. Now we have the advantage of 6th schedule. What all are the advantages that are associated with 6th schedule? That is the Autonomous District Council. First, what the privilege have in this 6th schedule, that we have a Autonomous District Council. Autonomous region हो जाता है and power of Autonomous District Councils हो जाती है. Then what all are the powers that are associated with Autonomous District Council? Some of the legislative powers, some of the tax revenue, some of the regulatory and some of the judicial powers. So let's talk about that Autonomous District Councils. So basically 26 elected and 4 nominated by governor for 5 years term. So 26 elected Autonomous District Council and 4 are nominated by the governor for 5 years term. Now what all are the powers that are associated with? That are legislative power. It means power with the governor's due approval and powers to limit center state acts by governor's approval. Means center and state acts can be limited by governor's approval. What all are the tax revenues? That collections and grant in aid from CFI. What are the regulatory powers? That is schedule, school, dispensary, markets, roads. We all have these power related to these things, that we can have some other regulations for in terms of school, in terms of dispensary, market and other things. So what are the judicial power? There is a village court to the tribal cases, because tribal people, it would be really hard for them to move to the high court. They basically don't know about the cases. They don't know about the process basically. So it's better that we have a proper and a different court for that tribal people, so that it is accessible for them to go into that place, and also it is economical so that they can approach. So village court to the tribal cases, and also district high court jurisdiction specified by the governor. So if you compare about the 5th schedule and 6th schedule, so applicability, basically 5th schedule is applicable in Andhra, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan. And if we talk about 6th schedule, that are basically associated with Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. So council creation, if we talk about that by act of state legislature, ADC, that is autonomous district councils provided by the constitutions. So council creation can be happened in fifth schedule also, but how? That is by the act of the state legislature. Means state has to act in this concern, and through this they can have a autonomous district council or any kind of a council. And if in the sixth schedule it is provided by the constitution, so it becomes their constitutional right. Now autonomy like panchayat, extension to schedule areas, Act 1996, self-governance also through Gram Sabha for people living in fifth schedule areas, and greater autonomy compared to fifth schedule. Fifth schedule tribal advisory council has only advisory powers, and autonomous district councils have much wider powers above infographic. Now another topic, that is borrowing powers of the center and state government. It is very important to know because in COVID situation the question may be asked in examination, so it is really important. So why it comes into the picture? Because that recently that the center government and increased the borrowing limit of states to 5% of the gross state domestic product, that is GSDP, in 2020-21 from 3%. Okay, so recently it has been increased by 2%. Earlier it was 3%, now they have increased this up to 5%. Now comparison of borrowing powers of central and state government, if we talk about like constitutional provisions, what all are the provisions they are talking here? That under section 292, central government has unrestricted power to borrow subject of limits set by the parliament. Means constitutional provision is applicable here, that under article 292 central government has unrestricted power to borrow subject to limits set by the parliament. Means any limit could be set up by the parliament, but central government has no restriction to borrow up to any amount. And in case of a state, this power is basically limited by the state. This power is limited by act of state legislature. Means parliament could set any restriction or could set any limit to borrow for the center, and for state that limit and that is a restriction that has to be provided by state legislature. Now territorial restrictions, that no restrictions, means out of India, means abroad can also be borrowed, and from the domestically we can also borrow from any other person, and in the state can only raise a loan domestically. Means state has to borrow from the center or from any other state. It is only from the domestically purpose, means any of the within the country. What all are the other restrictions that are applicable to center? That is no restrictions. But for the state, yes, it is that states can borrow upon security of consolidated fund of state. Means कि जो state का consolidated fund है उससे ज़्यादा they can't borrow, and also they cannot raise loan if any outstanding amount of previous loan is due to the center. Means वो कोई लोन भी नहीं ले सकते अगर पुराने अमाउंट का अभी तक पुराना लोन नहीं गया है तो. So state has more restriction in this case. So what is that consolidated sinking fund? This is related to this information, but this is slightly important. That is, recently with the revenue source drying up due to lockdown, state wants center to relax norms regarding using money accumulated in consolidated sinking fund. Now consolidated sinking fund was basically set up in 1990 or 2000 by RBI to meet redemption of market loans of the state. Now consolidated sinking fund is basically a reserve fund created by states for amortization of their debt obligations. Now state governments maintain the consolidated sinking fund with the Reserve Bank as buffers for payment of their liabilities. Under the consolidated sinking fund scheme, a state government could contribute 1 to 3% of their annual outstanding debt liabilities to the funds to create a buffer for repayment of their future liabilities. Initially, 11 states set up sinking funds. Later than 12 finance commissions, that is 2005 to 10, recommended that all states should have sinking funds for amortization of all loans, including loans from banks, liability on account of NSSF, that is National Small Saving Funds, etc. Now the fund is maintained outside the consolidated fund of states in the public account and is not to be used for any other purposes except for redemption of loans. This ensures good fiscal governance. So what this consolidated fund sinking fund is all about, it was basically set up by the RBI. Why it has been set up? To meet the redemption of market loans of the states, कि भाई redemption हो जाए market loans का. So for that purpose that has been created, and it is a reserve fund created by the state for amortization of their debt obligation. जैसे हम बहुत सारे CRR create कर लेते हैं, in the we know that accounts में हम बहुत सारा reserve create कर लेते हैं to pay off the debt. It is kind of a that thing, and state government maintain this fund with the RBI as a buffer for repayment of their liabilities. Because what we do कि भाई एकदम से हम पे एकदम burden ना पड़े, तो हम उसका पहले थोड़ा थोड़ा रिजर्व कर देते हैं, एंड दैट रिजर्व हैज़ टू बी maintained with the RBI as a buffer for repayment. Okay, so under the consolidated fund scheme, the state government could contribute 1 to 3% of annual outstanding debt liability. कई बार होता है ना कि भाई हर महीने जैसे 10% डेप्रिशिएशन में हमें डालना है, तो हमने उसके लिए रिजर्व क्रिएट किया हुआ है, तो इस तरीके से दे हैव टू टेक कंट्रीब्यूट 1 to 3% ऑफ देयर एनुअल outstanding debt liabilities. 1 to 3% जितना उनका outstanding debt liabilities है, 1 to 3% on basically ताकि फ्यूचर में उसको पे कर पाए. Initially 11 states have that sinking fund. After 12th finance commission, that is in 2005 to 10, recommended that all states should have sinking fund for amount. मतलब अब और सारे states को करना होता है, पहले there was no guidelines that some of the states voluntarily, if they want to create that consolidated sinking fund, they could also create that. Now okay, let's read this last line, that the fund is maintained outside and consolidated fund of state in the public, outside that state in the public account, and it is not to be used for any other purpose except for, मतलब ये सिर्फ redemption of loan के लिए ही है, like it ensures good fiscal governance. Okay, now we have article 370. It is very important, and yes, question may arise. So do we complete this here, or I think I should cover this up in the next lecture, because it is wide and it may take a lot of things to be discussed. So what we have learned here, that the consolidated sinking fund, whatever be the restrictions that center and state has more restriction. State has to borrow domestically, but center can go beyond that. आर्टिकल स्केड्यूल 5 भी नो, स्केड्यूल 5 में क्या होता है, स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर के थ्रू होता है. 6 में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट होता है, पंचायत एक्सटेंशन होता है, इसमें ग्रेटर ऑटोनॉमी होती है. वी नो एडीसी के एडवांटेजेस क्या हैं 6 के, भाई में एक ऑटोनोमस डिस्ट्रिक्ट काउंसिल मिल जाती है, रीजन मिल जाता है, पावर्स भी मिल जाते हैं, लेजिस्लेटिव टैक्स रेवेन्यू और अदर चीज़ों के. एंड देयर इज़ सेंटर 6 स्केड्यूल में क्या कौन आना चाहता है, अरुणाचल प्रदेश. ओके, so that's all for this, and we'll start with another topic tomorrow. Thank you.